Howdy, I'm Gary, Dillon Precision's Human Manual. I'm here to discuss tech tips for the Super 1050, Dillon's high-speed progressive reloader. If you suddenly experience high primers while you're operating your Super 1050, it's possible that the shell plate lock ring has loosened up over use. The easy way to check: push down on the edge of the shell plate between stations 7 and 8, which is where the detent ball and spring are located. If it feels springy, then the shell plate lock ring needs to be tighter. The easy way to adjust this: tighten the shell plate lock ring until it stops, back it up about 1/8 of a turn, press down on the edge of the shell plate, and very lightly tighten the 4 tabs that lock the shell plate lock ring in position. These 4 tab screws just need to be snug. Don't over tighten them or you will crack the little plastic tab that holds the lock ring in place. Periodically, the underside of the shell plate lock ring needs to be greased. Generally, you do it whenever you change calibers on the machine. Otherwise, about every 100,000 cycles, remove this lock ring by loosening the 4 tabs. Spin the lock ring off and use any kind of automotive grease to grease that flat bearing surface where the lock ring contacts the top of the shell plate. Another thing to check for is to make sure that the detent spring underneath the detent ball hasn't started to collapse. Make sure this stays clean. You don't need to put any lubricant on the detent ball. With the shell plate off, at least half of the diameter of the ball should be visible above the top of the frame. When you operate the handle on the Super 1050, you want to maintain an even down and up stroke. If you slap the handle upward, what happens is centrifugal force causes the shell plate to index past the detent ball. When you pull the handle down, the tool head pin on the left side of the machine impacts the top of the shell plate. If you do that enough, you'll either push the tool head pin out of the top of the tool head, you could potentially crack the tool head, you could also damage the holes that the tool head pin goes through and damage the shell plate. So just operate the handle at a nice normal speed. When you have the shell plate off, it's a good idea to use a pick of some sort to clean out the pockets in the shell plate. Tumbling media, powder, any kind of debris can gather in here and clog up this track, which will keep the case that's being pushed into the shell plate from fully entering the shell plate. Clean out all 8 pockets.